So I think now the slide is visible, right? Rapid prototyping and manufacturing introduction. As I mentioned in the previous
Hello.
case study, traditional can be classified in three different categories: adding process, removing process, and deforming. Hello. Hello.
Sir, your voice is not
Adding
audible. Sometimes, sir, it's
process,
breaking.
removing
Yes,
process, and
sir.
deforming
The
process.
voice is cracking.
All traditional be grouped in any one of the remove. These are all some. Okay. Okay. So the traditional manufacturing process are classified in any one of these three categories: adding category, removing category, and deforming category. In adding, welding is an example for adding material. Coating is an example for adding material. Removing, like drilling, shaping, machining, grinding, these are all the manufacturing process which comes under the category of removing. And deforming, forging, powder metallurgy, casting, these are the process which comes under the classification of deforming process. Hello, could you able to see the curriculum, topics and module?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this subject, in this subject, we are having the introduction part. In introduction part, I will be discussing about the introduction of additive manufacturing, application, advantage and disadvantage. Second module is about how to transfer the CAD data into a physical model, because in all additive manufacturing process, you are going to get a 3D physical component, but you are going to give input as a CAD model. So how the CAD data is transferred into a physical data. So that we will be discussing in module 2, data processing. And third module, we are going to add a material layer by layer, right? So there are different way in which you can add a material. That is, there are some process which add a plastic. There are some process which add a metal. There are some process which add a glass. There are some process which add a metal by using a laser. There are some process which add a metal by using the electron beam. There are some process which add a material just by using a binder. So there are different way and different principle you can add a material. So those different principles we will be discussing in module 3. Module 4, though we are getting nicely complex component through additive manufacturing, there are some issues in terms of finish and coloring. So uh, post process after printing will be discussed in module 4. Module 5, as I told you in the previous slide, it is design integrated process. When you want to use additive manufacturing process, how to design a component. So those topic will be discussed in module 5. And module 6, if a component is given to you among the different additive manufacturing process, which process is suitable for given component, like a case study. So how to select a suitable process using some algorithm, that will be discussed in module 6. Module 7 is about application. Here we are going to discuss application only in tooling industry. So this is about the subject topic, introduction, data processing, types of manufacturing, post processing, design for additive manufacturing, guidelines and application. And the final one is the industrial guest lecture. Textbook, as mentioned in syllabus, this textbook, Ian Gibson, the textbook, which is open accessible textbook. You can go to Springer website, you can type this topic, you can directly download the textbook. So this textbook will be useful for you to learn some of the topic for this subject, and this is a research based, the subject is itself a research subject. It is generally offered for postgraduate student. So in our case, we are going to use this textbook. So along with the textbook, you can also follow the slide. So the slides will help you to navigate the appropriate topic using this textbook. So this is one among the textbook. which you can freely download from Springer website. They have given free access only for a limited period of time because of this COVID situation. So make use of this opportunity and download the textbook. Now, to understand the process or how the additive manufacturing process evolved, let us start with the prototyping activity, right? So prototyping is critical. Could you able to see this slide? Idea, design analysis, iterative prototyping, testing,
Yes, sir.
implementation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. To know about additive manufacturing, let us start first with the prototyping process. So the prototyping process is one of the critical stage in product development, right? So forget about rapid manufacturing and additive manufacturing. Let us understand what is prototyping. If you want to develop a new product for whichever the organization you are associated with, first you have to generate a sketch or concept model. So who will give a sketch or concept model? Either it may be your new innovation for the existing product, or there will be a requirement from customer, or there will be a analysis from marketing team. They will let you know what will be the suitable product for the market. So the first stage, what is you have to understand what is required, and based on the requirement and using your knowledge through brainstorming session, you are going to create a concept. Then the second stage of product development is you have to convert the sketch into a design. So what do you mean by design? For a given concept, you have to identify the appropriate dimension. You might have created a concept, and for example, if you take this sketch, you might have given that I should have a handle to hold. So what is the size of a handle? Can I have it for 1 inch, or I have to have it for 100 inch? So what material I should give for this? So identification of suitable dimension and identification of suitable material will be done in design and design step. So for performing this, you will be using CAD and CAE software. CAD software for modeling, CAE software for analysis. So you can select a suitable material and suitable dimension. Once the virtually the CAD or design is finalized, or by using a calculation you have identified what material and what dimension is suitable, you have to go for iterative prototyping. What is the prototyping? You are going to convert a design into a product, but here you are not going to do a mass production. Final production is different from prototyping. The difference between prototyping and production is prototyping we will be doing fewer number of components. The purpose of prototyping is to test and get feedback from the customer, initial testing and feedback. So any organization which are involved in prototyping or product development activity, they will be having a separate team for prototyping. So what they will do, they will take a clay or they will take a clay or wood, and using the drawing sheet according to the dimension, they will craft the clay, or they will craft a wax. They'll create a replica of your design. So this activity is the prototyping. This replica will be given to the customer, or for the client presentation, it will go for multiple iteration. Again, you rework the prototype. Then you finalize what is your final physical component. Then you fabricate few more components, do a real-time testing. Once everything is approved, implement in production schedule, and produce a component in mass and get the review from the customer. And again, from the review, you are going to create a concept. So this is the general design stage, the general activity which are involved in new product development. So here, my emphasis is only on prototyping. Prototyping is very critical part in any new product development. If you want to develop a new product, prototyping is part of your activity. So from this slide, you could able to understand the importance of prototyping. Prototyping is very, very critical for any product development activity, right? So could you able to see this slide, prototyping to rapid prototyping? Prototyping to
Yes, sir.
rapid prototyping. Okay. Now, in the previous slide, I did mention about prototyping. Prototyping is nothing but, hello, yes. Prototyping is nothing but this is a real component, but before you go for a mass manufacturing, take a wax or clay and recreate a component. That is prototyping. Here, the product is done by using a crafting process. So there will be a skilled person called a craftsman. So he will craft your design. So this prototype is a crafted product. What is rapid prototyping? Rapid prototyping with the advancement of computer and machine integrated computer system, example is CNC. Instead of crafting manually, you can take same wax or wood. You have a CAD model because prior to prototyping, you have a design. So your CAD model is ready. Transfer the CAD model to a machine, and this machine will read the CAD model as a program, and it will help you to do a machining on softer material. So it is also a prototype, but this prototype is done with the help of machine. And because of that, they named this activity as a rapid prototyping. Previously, it was just a prototyping, crafting. But over a period of time, with the advancement of computer and computer machine integration, same prototyping is done with a mission. So the term, the department term itself changed from prototyping to rapid prototyping. Now, what will be the pros and cons of traditional prototyping and rapid prototyping? That is prototyping using a manpower, that is traditional prototyping. Prototyping by using a computer assistant, that is rapid prototyping. Could you able to see this slide, a difference between traditional prototyping and rapid prototyping?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So traditional prototyping depends upon skilled manpower. Traditional prototyping, you can work on softer material because the craftsman going to craft. So plastic, clay or wood. Less flexibility. If there is any mistake at the time of crafting, again he has to start from beginning. And you have to depend upon the skilled manpower. It will take a lot of lead time because on the other hand, we are using computers. So here you have a manual fatigue as well as the repeatability and accuracy required. So it will take a lot of lead time and it is difficult to produce a complex design. It is, see, manpower is always superior than computer. But if you need more complex design, you need more experienced person, more experienced craftsman. So if there is only a linear shape or circular shape, it is easy. But if you have a non-linear shape like Bézier's curve or French curve, so that is very difficult to craft, right? On the other hand, by using computer-assisted prototyping, that is rapid prototyping, you can easily convert your 3D CAD model into a physical model. Since you are using tool, other than the softer material, you can also work on some flexible material like elastomer and metals like aluminum, copper, ABS plastic. So material options are more since you are using a machine with a tool assistance. High flexibility in the sense it can work 24/7. Very short lead time because if there is any change in design, change a CAD model and send this to the machine. It is very easy for complex design. If there is a non-linear French curve, you can convert the French curve as a 3D programmable data. You can easily manufacture that. So that is the difference between traditional prototyping and rapid prototyping. Now, most of the companies, they doesn't have a craftsman. Instead of that, they will be having a prototyping, rapid prototyping department where they will rapidly develop a product. The reason for rapid is use of machine, use of computers. So that is the reason it got a name, rapid prototyping. Would you able to see this slide? Product design, tooling, and manufacturing. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Product design, tooling, and
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
now see another two slide. I do not want to load you heavily on the first day. And now, so far I did mention about prototyping and rapid prototyping. Now, there is another development from rapid prototyping. So before to understand the development, just I'll take this case study. if you look this picture, it is an investment casting. Can you see this picture? At the bottom, there are two pictures are there, right? Yes, anyone can put a reply. Could you able to see this picture?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So this picture is a investment casting picture. So here you have a metal part. So this is the final part you required, right? So to make this final part, what initially we are going to do, we are going to create an exact replica. So it is also prototype, right? This is the final part. This is a replica. This is made of metal, but this is made of wax. So this is nothing but a prototype or replica of your final component. You make a wax component and you immerse the wax component into a slurry. So this is a slurry where abrasive like sand is mixed with a binder. So you immerse the wax into this slurry. The slurry will get coat onto the wax and dry this part so that the binder will bind the slurry. Then you remove the part after drying. Now you pour a molten metal because finally you want to have a part in metal. Now you pour, still the wax is there inside. So you pour a molten metal. The molten metal will not cause any damage to the abrasives because abrasive temperature is very high. It will not cause any damage, but it will melt all those wax. Either it vaporizes or it drain or it get collected at the bottom. So this metal will evacuate the wax which is kept inside the slurry, and this wax is replaced by a metal. Allow the metal to solidify, and after solidification using air or using high pressure water, you remove the slurry, you will get a final component. This is the traditional investment casting process which you all have studied in casting or forging casting. I think casting you might have studied this topic, investment casting. Now how it is relevant to our subject? This is the final product, this is a prototype, right? So this prototype also has to be manufactured. For example, if you take this case, for example, if you take this case, here we are developing a prototype. So this prototype is just to have a form, fit and functionality. It is like a toy. So you are not going to use it in any end application. Just you are going to see the fitting, you are going to see the form of a component, you are going to see the aesthetic. So because of that reason, it was named just a prototype. But in this case, it is used in a manufacturing itself. Though it is a prototype, it is used in manufacturing process itself. So the name rapid prototyping became rapid manufacturing. That is what our subject name is, rapid manufacturing. So rapidly you are developing a wax component because you are using a computer system to craft, and that rapid prototyping is used in a real-time manufacturing situation itself. This prototype is not for any form fit functionality. This prototype is used for some manufacturing activity. So rapid prototyping name got changed into rapid manufacturing. So that is our subject name, rapid manufacturing techniques. You all know what is the rapid here. Rapid is computer assisted system. Manufacturing is transferred from prototyping because it is used in manufacturing activity. Again, in between rapid prototyping and rapid manufacturing, before they coined the term rapid manufacturing, there is an in between transition called rapid tooling. That is rapid prototype tooling. Rapid prototyping, after a period of time, it became RPT. That is rapid prototype tooling. Then it became rapid manufacturing. So this is an example for rapid prototyping tooling. Again, I have taken another case. Here I have to manufacture this key button. So to manufacture this, I have to create a mold. This is the bottom and top portion. You have a cavity here. This may, you assume that this may melt at our melting temperature is around 300 degrees Celsius. This is a low temperature plastic curing material. So you pour a plastic into this cavity and cure it just by using some chemical agent, or at low temperature you cure it. After curing, you open the top half, you will get a final product. So here also, this part is not a prototype. This part is used as a tool to manufacture this. So it is also a manufactured component. But what is the difference between the previous case and this case? In the previous case, it is used as a pattern. From a pattern, I get a cavity. From a cavity, I will get a final component. In this case, I am getting a cavity itself getting prototyped, and from the cavity, I am directly getting a product. So this is a one-stage process. This is two-stage process. Pattern, that is prototype pattern, to a mold. From a mold, you are getting a final component. Here, you are going to make a mold, that is rapid prototype mold. From the mold, you are going to get a final product. So this is an example for direct tooling, direct rapid tooling. Here it is an example for indirect rapid tooling. What is indirect rapid tooling? For manufacturing process, if you create a pattern, then it is indirect rapid tooling. For a manufacturing process, if you create a mold, then it is direct rapid tooling. So that is the difference. Here we are creating a mold again from rapid prototyping process. Here we are creating a pattern again from rapid prototyping process. Both are example for tooling, but since it is a two-stage process, it is indirect tooling. It is a one-stage process, it is direct tooling. So I hope this tooling part is clear to you, because any industry, they're using additive manufacturing or 3D printing for this tooling activity. Most of the industries, they are using as a tool, not as a real component, because making mass production is very difficult. As of now, they haven't achieved for all product, but for many of the commercial product, they are using rapid manufacturing as a tool. So this slide is very critical to understand the industrial application of rapid tooling. Either it could be a indirect rapid tooling or direct rapid tooling. Now, the last part I'll come. Again, this rapid tooling or rapid manufacturing can be classified into two categories: subtractive rapid manufacturing and additive manufacturing. What is subtractive rapid manufacturing? You need a component. Could you able to see this slide? Subtractive versus additive rapid prototyping.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in another 3 minutes, we'll complete this session. So that is the difference between subtractive and additive. So what is subtractive? I need the part. So to manufacture the part, I'm going to take a bulk material. I will load a bulk material into a milling machine. I will remove unwanted material. I'll get a part. Right? This is not a mass production. I'm going to create fewer number of parts. So this is a prototype, right? But this prototype is developed by removing of material. Another way, I can also create a prototype by adding a material. So I need this design. What you can do, you create a CAD model of a design, convert this design into a program. Instead of tooling, there will be a material deposition mechanism. This will be depositing material layer by layer to get a 3D component. So here I'm going to develop a prototype. This prototype is computer assisted because I'm transferring CAD data as a program. So it is a rapid prototype, but it is additive rapid prototype. In this case, again, I'm using a model, CAD model, and based on the CAD model, my CNC programming is generated to remove a material. So it is subtractive. So what is the disadvantage we have in subtractive? Subtractive depends on tool. If I change a design, I have to change a tool. If I change a material, I have to change a tool material. In subtractive process, there will be a lot of wastage. In additive process, it doesn't have such, because wherever you require a material, you are going to add. If there is a change in design, you are going to do change only in CAD model, and there is no tooling here, so it can be rapidly incorporated in manufacturing. Another critical advantage of additive manufacturing is, if you take this case, if you look inside the component, there will be a staircase, curved staircase, right? So this is a critical example for internal shape. You have a external feature and internal feature is also there. In subtractive process, you could able to achieve the shape only externally. Internally, you cannot do anything. But in additive process, since you are adding material layer by layer, wherever you require some intricate shape, like how we have a egg, internally we have one part and externally you have a yolk, right? So that can be done only by natural process. Internally and externally, you are creating some feature. So it is an also example for undercut feature. So such a complex undercut feature, internal feature is not feasible. So that is a very important application of additive manufacturing process. So in our subject, we are going to focus only on additive based method. So with this, we will stop. This is how the process evolved. It starts with the prototyping. Then it became a rapid prototyping with the help of machine assistant. Then a rapid prototyping became a part of activity in tooling. Then tooling gradually moved into a rapid manufacturing. Again, this rapid manufacturing can be done in two different ways. Adding a material and removing a material. Removing has certain disadvantage. Adding has certain advantage as well as disadvantage. So in our subject, we are going to discuss more on adding material. That is layer by layer, we are going to add a material. And that particular process is named as additive manufacturing. This is how the prototyping became over a period of time, it became additive manufacturing, right?